Hello and good evening. Hi, Facebook Live. It's Ask Gina, Gina Tabrizy, licensed marriage and family therapist with Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab. And welcome to the live. I hope you're all tuning in, old friends and people that have been watching and supporting me and keeping this thing going. I got up real early this morning and boy, was it a struggle. Hi, Elise. How are you? Chime in, say hi, tell me where you're from, what you're doing. Tonight we're going to talk about, or I'm hoping to talk about, I did a little bit this morning about New Year's resolutions, real or fantasy. So I guess what I wanted to start with is I'm going to hear from you guys, but some of the things that you've struggled with trying to make resolutions about and or you've done them in the past, but you can't stick with them. And this morning we got into some really heavy dialogue. I went live on Ask Gina. And if you're just tuning in, again, it's Gina Tabrizy, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, but I'm not acting as a therapist in this role. This is a public service. So I got some really heavy questions and comments this morning regarding realistic New Year's resolutions, especially around recovery and getting sober and helping loved ones who are in the throes of addiction, or people talked about abusive relationships and, how to make a resolution to free yourself from the bondage of those kinds of relationships. So I wanted to get into some of that stuff with you guys and talk about what's realistic and what's fantasy. Kelly, if you're seeing me live, say hi, and Elise, say hi again, so that I'm sure that I'm still gone live. Sometimes I think I'm live and it goes off because I don't see comments or my people checking in with me. Then I think I'm just talking to myself, which, maybe for New Year's, I'll make a resolution not to talk to myself. So check in with me. Hi again, Elise. Okay, so we're still going. Real or fantasy? So when you're making a real resolution for the New Year's, one of the things to know is that don't set yourself up to failure or set yourself up with an unrealistic goal that you keep repeating. In other words, hello. In other words, hi, Michelle, good to see you. In other words, if you have been struggling with chronic depression or weight gain or severe weight loss or bad relationships, you can't say to yourself, starting tomorrow, I'm letting this go and it's going to be a new day and I'm going to nail this and I'm going to be perfect and I'm going to lose 100 pounds in, 30 days. It's not going to happen. That's a fantasy. And sometimes you got to look at, am I setting goals for myself, for my own health and my growth, or am I setting goals that other people expect me to set for myself that are unrealistic, that I've tried over and over again to reach, and they're just not attainable for whatever reason, because of the way I'm wired or because of my life circumstances or my life situations. When you're choosing to start the new year right, the first thing you got to do is let go of the old. It's let go of any baggage. Hi, Melody. Let go of any baggage that you're still carrying with you. We got into some heavy stuff this morning. I went live on the same subject. Resolutions, real or fantasy? Are they real, the ones you're setting, or is it a fantasy and you're setting yourself up? Hi, Pina. Hi, Tony. So listen, don't drag in the baggage from your past into your present. When you drag old stuff, whether that's resentments or hurt feelings or anger, abusive relationships, drug addiction, alcohol, shopping addiction, whatever addiction you have, you drag it into the new year and you're saying, this time I'm going to do it different, but I'm not taking any action. Hi, Ranjit. Good to see you all. Hi, Pina. Amen to you too. Listen, if you drag that stuff into the new year with you, it's not going to go away magically. You've got to face it. The way that you set a realistic, hello, Vien. The way you set a realistic goal is you say to yourself, what can I do to improve the quality of my life, my health? Elisa, sugar addiction, girl. I think we all have that one just a little bit. And we live in a society that promotes and pushes sugar and puts sugar in all of our food supply to keep it and to preserve it. So we've been trained to be addicted to sugar. And you do it just like you do any kind of recovery, one day at a time. For today, I will not. I will choose to not put this toxic thing in my body. That's true of drugs, that's true of alcohol, and that's true of relationships. Hi there, Louise, and hi, Veronica. Nice to see you all. We're talking about resolutions, how to keep them, how to set them. Are they real? Are they fantasy? Are you setting yourself up? Hi, Veronica. Good. I'm glad that you like that. So realistically, it's, I want to let go of something, and you don't say to yourself, I want to be 100 pounds thinner, and just wake up and think you're going to run to the gym and change your whole life and all of a sudden lose that weight. Hi, Manjo, can we chat? We're going to chat right here, right now, and keep messaging. You can message me any questions, any comments on here and through Ask Gina or Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab, okay? So listen, if I want to lose weight, I have to say to myself, I want to live healthier. I'm tired of carrying around unhealthy weight with me. I'm tired of feeling sluggish and tired and heavy and dragged down and fatigued. It's the way that you talk yourself that starts changing. Hi, Rachel. My girlfriend's watching me. It's so cool to see you. Realistic goals, expectations, or fantasies for the new year. If I want to change my relationships, I can't say to myself, okay, that's it. I'm not going to put up with X, Y, and Z anymore, because things don't change overnight. And communication and relationships with people, those are long lasting. And the patterns that you developed in communicating with people, you've been doing that for years and years. So if you want to change your relationship, you have to sit down and have a realistic communication with your partner, your friend, your mother, whoever it is that you're wanting to change, and say, this isn't working for me. What we're doing isn't working for me, and I want some things to look different. Hi, Jan. Listening. Kind of helped me. Thanks. Good. Tell me what you're struggling with, what you want to set a resolution about, how to attain that or not, and things that you've tried in the past that didn't work. Check in with me and tell me about your struggles. There's people on here this morning that were telling me about living with an abusive parent or taking care of an elderly parent who's being abusive. Hi, William. That's some really rough stuff, right? I can totally relate. I'm kind of in a similar situation at this moment. So what happens is, how do I take care of myself? If I want to improve anything in my life in the new year, how am I going to take care of myself first and put that as a priority so that I can get there? If I'm always putting everybody else ahead of myself, I'm never going to meet my goals, the goals that I set for myself. Veronica, no fast food makes me sick. Oh, gross. Yeah. Sorry if you're a fast food junkie, but gross. Yeah, sugar, toxic, chemicals, whatever they put in there to preserve it. It's gross. It makes you feel bad. Hi, Tyra. And Manjo, hi. And Terry, use a 12-step program if you need help. Of course, this morning I talked about realistic goals for yourself and finding a way to live with an addict or alcoholic who's in recovery, an abusive parent, an abusive brother or sibling, someone who's betrayed you or hurt you or harmed you in any way. The 12-step program has so much wisdom and support and love and guidance and knowledge. And it's not just for addiction. It's for those of us who love and are in relationships with addicts and alcoholics. That's what Al-Anon is all about, or Alateen is all about. And when you get support for yourself, you're going to get closer to meeting the goals, the expectations, and the resolutions that you set for yourself. The problem is we want to do everything ourselves. And there's some deep-seated problems, depression, sadness, fear, addiction, codependency, that are not going to go away overnight just because we want them to. We need help, support, and guidance for that. Lynn, thanks for talking to us. I struggle with alcohol as I'm a career and stressed out all the time. Use it to help with sugar and feel bad. I know I'm in a bad cycle. When we choose something outside of ourselves to make ourselves feel better, it's like a dog chasing its tail. It's never going to be enough. it's never going to serve us enough. Food, I know so many people that use food for comfort, and slowly the weight comes on and they don't even see it. And then all of a sudden they're 50, 60, 70, and 80 pounds overweight, and they feel horrible about themselves. It's not just how you look on the outside. It's how that weight makes your body feel. It's how that fat is attacking those organs inside of you so that you don't move and think and feel as clear and vibrant as you possibly can. So little by little, we do these toxic things. We take in, if it's drugs and alcohol for you, maybe it's bad relationships. Maybe you keep supporting all the people in your life, and then when you need support, they're not there for you. That's another way of trying to fill yourself up from the outside and not fixing the problem that's in the inside. So I need urgent help. Manju, just text us. We'll text you back at the end of the live, and my team is sending our numbers here. Thanks for talking to us. Anyways, if I miss your comment, this happened this morning. They come in so fast and I'm trying to talk to you and read it. Send it again, because I really mean to, address you and care for you and give you the best that I can while I'm here. Do you have a book out about this? Well, Veronica, I do not, but I'm working on it. And my New Year's resolution is to start writing in the new year, and hopefully eventually that will become a book. But to take everything I'm saying to you and put it down on paper so that people have something to hold on to, because all of us need that. I've read so many books about recovery for myself. So Bad Relationships, Patrick Carnes, Breaking Free of Exploitive Relationships, Codependent No More, or Facing Codependency by Pia Melody. There's books about shame, Healing the Shame That Binds You, John Bradshaw. You've got to take the tools that people give you and are out there for you to support you. Don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. I agree. Just checking you out, sweetie. Thank you, Terry. So listen, I want your comments and your questions. Yona Kim, how am I improve my life because of the stress? I feel people around me are harmful, so I start to feel depressed and I drink alcohol. Okay, again, realistic goal for the New Year's. I am aware that I'm using a substance and alcohol to try to cope. That is not helping me cope. It's bringing me down. Alcohol creates depression. It's a depressant. So over time, you start to feel worse, not better. And you need the alcohol more to try to feel better. And you're chasing your tail, the dog chasing its tail, or you're chasing that high, and it's never going to come. You have to decide that you are worth being healthy, that you matter, that your feelings matter, that your body matters. This is your temple. This is where you live. You only get this chance once in your life. What you put in your body affects how you think, your mood, how you feel, how you interact with people. It's not possible for you to use substances and be clear-headed and be in good relationships. It's not possible. You destroy everything around you. And if you're not the addict, but you're the codependent in relationship with people, you're being destroyed too by the behavior of helping and enabling and staying in sick relationships. Start by saying, I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to live healthy in my body. I am going to ask for help. I'm either going to pick up a phone and call today, call a counselor, call us for guidance, suggestion, people in your area. Research, there's therapists all over the world that you can reach out to. Alcoholics Anonymous is all over the world. It is a tried and true program of fellowship, recovery, and support. There is nothing like it. And you cannot do it alone. And sitting with other addicts and alcoholics who struggle, who share that story, who share that fellowship with you, they lift you up. There's times, yeah, you'll go in there and you won't feel lifted up because you're going to hear stories about struggle, but you won't feel alone. And that's the curse of addiction. It's the curse of bad relationships. It's the curse of any codependency, shopping addiction, is the fear of loneliness and feeling alone. That's where we get in the most trouble. Gina, hi Gina. Gina, we are located in California. So I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm not doing therapy with you right now. I'm being of service. This is how I stay well too. This is how I stay sane, okay? I've been talking all day, so I apologize if I'm like on my tongue. So let me drink some water and help that situation out. I love that you guys are chiming in. We are talking about realistic Goals for yourself. Set a goal for yourself that whatever isn't serving you in 2018, drugs, alcohol, relationship, people, family, your kids, whatever it is that is dragging you down, your job, your friendships, your parents, don't drag it into 2018. Start with saying to yourself, what can I do to change this situation so that I don't keep feeling this badly? I want to feel better about myself. What can I do? How can I get a notice when you are live? Kelly, can you please answer that? My social media guys watching, I actually don't know because this is all new to me and I don't know how that works. But we post it on Harmony Heals website and we send it out on our social media, Instagram, also on Ask Gina, and we send it. I do this live every Thursday at 6 p.m. and once a month I'm going live in the morning. Yes, you deserve to be healthy. Yes, even I got struggled. There's more in life. You guys, real or fantasy? Real, we all have struggles. What you're looking at out in the world and the expectation of, I want it to be perfect. My goals for next year is to be the perfect weight and look the perfect way, have the perfect job, have the perfect mate. This is an illusion and this is a fantasy because even those beautiful people with the perfect Christmas cards that you all got, that I got too, and I know them and they know me, we don't have perfect lives. Nobody has a perfect life. We have the best life possible for us. And sometimes our life isn't at its best because we are struggling with pain or loss or grief or heartache or bankruptcy or fears, anxiety, mental health. Listen, we're all in that same boat. There is no one that has the perfect answer, the perfect quick fix for any problem. And don't let anybody sell you that because that's what I see all the time. Do this and in 30 days you're going to lose this weight. Do this and you're going to stay sober for your life. We guarantee it. There is no guarantee of any of that when it comes to mental health and addiction, which is a mental health issue. It's a brain chemistry issue. It is a physical, spiritual, emotional issue. There is no quick fix, but there are many solutions. Happy New Year to you, Jacqueline. I'm tired of my life. Melody, I know that feeling, okay? So I've battled depression for 10 to 15. Hi, Veronica Cooper. Again, and thank you. And I'm glad that you agree with that. And Gina, what do you do when you're a loved one, boyfriend that is an alcoholic and want to get help? I love him, but I can't do this anymore. I want him to get help. So many family members, so many friends are calling me in today. New Year's resolution to yourself. Tell yourself and know this, I am powerless over someone else's disease or addiction. I didn't create it, I didn't cause it, and I certainly cannot fix, change, or alter it in any way. I can love, I can support, I can guide, I can push in the direction of recovery. I can give hope and inspiration. I can't fix it. And if I stay here sick with you while you're unwilling to help yourself, both of us are going to go down. Both of us are going to get sick. Sometimes the codependent gets physically ill and worse. Sometimes we get diseases like cancer, which I've had, or stomach issues, or heart issues, or cholesterol issues, because we are desperately hanging on to the stress of trying to help that addict or that alcoholic and save them. You cannot save anyone. That is not your purpose on this earth. None of us can do that. Your purpose is only to love, to show up, and to give guidance. And when you've done everything and you know you've done your best, and that person keeps choosing the addiction and it's the only thing that they can choose, you have to step away so that you don't die too. And your death might be an emotional death. A spiritual death, maybe. It might actually be a physical death. You might have a heart attack from the stress of it, right? You ask for help, you give phone numbers, you say, I'm not willing to live in this unless you do something different. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I hope I answered your question about how do you help that loved one. You can do interventions. You can pay a professional interventionist to come in. They've been very successful. Even then, you have no guarantees. I've seen addicts walk out of an intervention and then go right back out to doing what they're doing. Preach it. Thank you, Bob. I am trying to preach it. Resolution. Take care of yourself first. You're no good to nobody unless you take care of you first. If you put everyone else in front and are so busy caring for them, that's a part of you that's trying to get your self-esteem from other people, from something outside of yourself, okay? I'm mentioning it in terms of drug addiction, alcoholism, but it's true of depression, and it's true of codependency, and it's true in families where you're so busy taking care of everybody else, you don't see that you're drowning. Resolve to be first. And I don't mean ignore everybody and stop being a mom or stop being a friend. I'm saying if you don't practice self-care, then you're no good to anybody. You won't be here to care for them. I see lots of comments coming in. Lori, Gina, if I miss someone, please, I'll get back to you later in the live, or keep hitting me up. Thank you. They can only fix them. My youngest son is in prison now, and I'm doing my best to keep him out and alive. I failed, but I am learning to do the best that I can. All you can do is the best that you can in any situation, in a broken home, in a kid who has a disability, in a parent who's aging, in a brother or sister relationship that has gone sideways, in your marriage that's now in a struggle or in a bind, in a financial situation. All you can do is your very, very best. None of us are perfect. We can't do it perfect, but show up. Be willing. That changes everything. Addiction doesn't change until a person is willing. Your relationship doesn't change until you're willing to change and be part of the change. I hope you're hearing that. This is real stuff. The fantasy stuff is, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to run to the gym and I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I'm going to go and get a new job and I'm going to make $1 million. I want all of us to put out into the universe that we all make $1 million next year. And we all wake up tomorrow with the passion to do that. That only happens with action. All of those things happen because you take an action. You get up and you go to the gym and you faithfully do that over and over again, and you stop putting crappy food in your body. I'll guarantee you'll start to lose weight. But it's not going to magically come off while you keep eating what you eat and doing what you do. That's a small example, but it's a big example because a lot of people struggle with weight and obsession with food. So, hear that. Whoever needed to hear that. Ricky, my husband is an alcoholic. We're not happy, very negative. I'm depressed. Get help for yourself first. The best way to lead an alcoholic it's like leading a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, is by being well. Be the living example. When they see you living well, that's very attractive, and they start to look at themselves. If you're not sitting in the misery with them, they have to look in the mirror. If you're there miserable with them, fighting with them, arguing over the addiction, you are a beautiful distraction and a perfect excuse for them to stay in the addiction and go, oh, you're driving me crazy. That's why I got to drink. So I'm going to keep drinking because you're stressing me out. So guess what? You start living well and going, you choose to sit there and wallow in your alcohol. I'm going to go to a meeting. I'm going to meet with my friends. I'm going to go to the bookstore and read and educate myself. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends and go have a beautiful dinner and see a great movie. Get real with you first. Make yourself the priority in 2018. That's how you get help, and that's how you become an attraction to anyone who needs help and who needs to change the patterns in their life. Maybe it's not an addict. Maybe it's just a very, very negative person who always sees the bad in everything. And by seeing you living right, they get attracted to, geez, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to change me and my behavior. Khalid, how to get help, please. The numbers are at the bottom, you guys. Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab. We're in California, in Laguna Beach, which is Southern California and Orange County. But we have people and resources and numbers and guidance to get you and help you, as best as we can to get you to the right people, okay, if it's not us. It's right at the bottom of the screen pinned. Thank you, Kelly, for answering him. See, I'm behind you guys with the comments. You're answering each other, and I appreciate that so much, Kelly. Always help each other, too. How about in 2018, you realize that we all need help, and that nobody does this alone, and that we don't get to this place in our lives by ourselves, and that if we're around and surrounded people that are dragging us down, we need to let them go and grow past them, even if it hurts to leave, even if it's sad to leave old relationships, 20-year, 30-year, 40-year relationships, but they're holding you back from the person you're supposed to be, from the life you're supposed to have, then it is time for you to move forward and take that action, whatever that action is. A therapist, a counselor, go to church, go do the exercise thing, go find a path, yoga and meditation, anything that helps clear your mind, your body, and your spirit, and motivates you to stay well. I wish I recorded this. Casey Clayton, it will be recorded, and at the end it will be on Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab and Ask Gina on our Facebook pages, and they stay there permanently. You can go back and listen to all of my lives. They're all there. And then we upload them to YouTube, either under Harmony Heals Detox or my name, Gina Tabrizy. It's all there. Kelly, if you're listening, or Fareed, put that information at the bottom. Thank you for asking and saying that. Hi, Khalid. Khalid's showing me 2 wine glasses. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Either you're drinking or you're saying cheers. I don't know. Or you're bottoms up, and this is I hope it's the last time you drink if you're an alcoholic. I have no idea. Lori, but his addiction has made him blame me for it. Okay, listen. That is the secret weapon of the addict. It's your fault. It's your fault that I drink. It is always your fault. That is the secret of an abusive relationship. I am going to blame you for what isn't right with me. I want you guys to hear this, okay? This is real. This is real stuff, not fantasy. I'm not talking about the fantasy stuff right now. This is real stuff. If I'm okay with me, I have no need to make you wrong. If I'm okay with me, I have no need to make you wrong. A person that is so busy making you wrong, taking you down, pointing out your faults, your flaws, the character defects that you may have, is because they are so miserable about themselves. They want to tear you down so that you're standing on equal ground to help them feel better about themselves. That is a form of emotional abuse. And in addiction, many people in their addiction become that type of person because they're hurting, because they don't know how to say, I feel like crap about myself. I think I'm a piece of tar. I did a little cursing this morning, so I'm trying to control it, because when I get passionate, the New York Cuban comes out and goes, blah, 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 and there's F-bombs flying everywhere. That person is trying to hold you hostage to their low self-esteem. They feel like crap about themselves. They feel ashamed of themselves, and they want to hold you there because they are terrified of looking in the mirror and seeing how bad it's gotten. But if you'll stay in the misery with them, you act like a beautiful cushion to their pain. They're just trying to avoid pain. You need to step out of the way and let them feel that pain, because that's where healing starts. Okay, Lori? It's never anybody's fault that someone's an addict or an alcoholic. Hear me. There's genetic predisposition. Hear me. There's traumatic predisposition. What does that mean? If you grew up in an alcoholic family, they increase the likelihood that you're going to use that as a coping skill in your life and get lost in addiction. That doesn't mean you're sentenced to be an addict the rest of your life. That means you, like any human being, is capable of recovery. If you had trauma as a child, abuse, neglect, you lost your parents at a young age, you were left in a sexually abusive home, abandoned home, broken up home, addicted home, whatever kind of trauma that you experience, the loss of a loved one, a pet can be traumatic, natural disaster, whatever your traumas are, okay, that can be a fuel later for addiction. Again, that doesn't mean that that's your sentence to that, but it does increase the likelihood. So people who have addiction oftentimes have these self-esteem issues that they've suffered, these hurts and this destruction and this trauma, and they haven't healed from it, and they've never looked at it. Hey, Brooklyn, New York, whoever's from Brooklyn, if you have been in substance abuse treatment for 8 months and just got out, do you think it's a bad idea to get into a relationship? Well, Terry, yes. I know if you're in program and you have a sponsor, they're going to tell you stay out of a relationship for a year. Now, guess what? Every human being is uniquely and divinely different. And I can't say with certainty or not. I've had people at 8 months, 7 months, whatever, early recovery, have been very blessed by the grace of God. They found a decent, beautiful partner for them, and they've had relationship. But truth be told, that's not likely. That's the exception, not the rule. Normally what happens is you choose somebody that's where you're at and they're still struggling, and one of you goes out and you take the other one down. That is the commonest, most common, highly likely scenario with relationship. What you got to do is check yourself. What are my motives for this? What's the attraction there? What am I dealing with or not dealing with? And just keep your side of the street clean. Hold yourself accountable to a partner, a buddy, or a sponsor in program if you're willing to be in the 12-step program if you're not. And ask for guidance in that area and say, can I just from a distance have a healthy relationship, give myself more time to heal so that I'm a person that attracts a healthy person into my life? Because your head ain't even right. I'm going to tell, even in the best of recovery at 8 months, you haven't hit a year yet. You haven't hit 5 years yet. And truth be told, your brain is resetting itself. And at a year, it's just starting to come a little clean. It's like, hey, I can do some stuff now. I can function. I can be a member of society. I can be a loving friend or partner. Hey, that's kind of cool. But you're not fully emotionally ready for a relationship at a year, really. And I know lots of people have done it. And again, I say by the grace of God, the universe, Buddha, Allah, they were fortunate to have that. But that's rare, okay? So you got to get clear with you. If you hit 5 years of recovery, you've hit the hugest milestone, really, because that catapults you. The recovery of the brain in that 5 years, that's when you know your brain has really fully recovered. Okay, so I hope that helps, Terry. Catherine, the how of the program is to be honest, open, and willing. Absolutely, Catherine. Honesty is the key to everything. Rigorous honesty is the key. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to the people in your life and the people that you love. I mean, you're never going to stay well, whatever your struggle is. Your struggle could just be fierce loneliness. It could be depression. It could be poor relationship. It could be isolation for whatever reason. Maybe you've moved into a new town or a new city and you're alone and the job took you there, but you're struggling with your own loneliness. I mean, there's all kinds of things we struggle, you guys. So your New Year's resolution would be, if I'm struggling and I'm lonely, what? What can you do? What can you do different? Oh my God, I got to join some kind of group or club or go on all these social media hiking and biking and meet us for fun and meet up. And there's all these apps. I know that's one of them because one of my clients, I keep pushing him. He brought it up to me and I'm relentless now. I won't let it go. Every week I'm like, did you get up on Meetup? What's up with that? And I'm not talking about the quick fix, sexual fix of some of the other apps that are out there. I'm talking about social interaction with meeting people at Starbucks and going to the movies together or going to see a show or whatever, so that you get yourself out of your loneliness. That's a realistic goal to set for yourself. Forgive yourself as well. Yes, Georgie, always. And Kiki, wow, you're on point. Thank you, Kiki, for that. Thank you for your words. You give me hope. My daughter's an addict. I believe every person's addict and journey to recovery are different. I remember she was before she fell into addiction. Always hold on to the person that she was because that's who she is. This person is a caricature of who she is. It's like a possession. It's like being possessed by a demon. That is not who the person is. Addiction is what people do. It's not who they are. And you can't fix it or change it, but all you can do is hold on to the hope and the belief that I see the beautiful child, the beautiful person behind that addiction that I knew, that I raised, that I loved with all of my heart. And I know they're in there and I'm going to keep believing for them and hoping. And I'm going to keep myself well and sane so that when they're ready, they've got tremendous support to help them through their addiction. What are your realistic goals? What do you know you need to do different and change? What are you sick of? What are you sick of that you want to let go, that you haven't? Tell me about that. I want to hear about that. Thank you. I need to hear this tonight. Is helping me out to hear this. You're a smart cook. Well, thank you, Gina. My dad, he always used to tell me that, hey, Gina, you know what? You're pretty smart, kid. So I'm going to take that as a very high compliment. Hi, Pollyanna McCormick. Love you. And I'm sending my love to you, too. And I'll tell Fareed you checked in. Casey, wow, this is spot on. Thank you, Casey. Thank you for that. This is my deal. This is what I do. I'm Gina Tabrizy. If you're just chiming in, you're so welcome, Veronica. Kiki, preach. I know I get so preachy. I get super passionate about this. I started these lives. Let me tell you why I started these lives. How do you help a daughter that needs help? I hit that earlier, Mari. I'll try to hit it again. Hey, Casey. I'm so glad you're chiming in and giving comments. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I think you're all awesome too for sitting here and doing this with me on a Thursday night. So check it out. It started because a year ago I got cancer and I've been through a lot of stuff. But that was the one that took me to my knees. And it didn't take me to my knees because I got into sadness and grief and horror. It took me to my knees because I realized and I was humbled by how fragile my life is. And I thought I had it, and I realized how, wow, none of us ever have it. It is so precious. For New Year's 2018, start to believe how precious you are, how uniquely and divinely you are designed, and that there is no other you on this planet. And you deserve to become the very best you that you are, because the rest of the world, the people in your life and the people in the world that you touch and impact by just being your best self is your purpose on this planet. It can be in small ways or big ways. You can be the best mailman that ever existed on the planet, the best father, you can be the best friend, you can be the best tech engineer, you can be the best shoe shine, you can be the best street sweeper. It doesn't matter. But if you being at your best does that, you're being of service to other people. You are fulfilling the greatest purpose that you could have in this year or in any year. Cancer taught me, don't waste time. Don't fear loneliness, rejection, isolation. Put yourself out there. This was really hard for me. One day I'll tell you my history about what it's like for me to talk to you guys and looking at my face with all the critical voices that I've had inside of me about how I'm supposed to look and what I'm supposed to be. I don't hear none of that anymore. I do obsess, as you know, periodically about my hair because it gets in my eyes and I can't see, or I'm always fixing it because it's sticking out like this or whatever. You know what? But at the end of the day, that's a mild obsession that I have, or a character defect. I really don't care. In my heart of hearts, I don't care. I took the risk to be here in front of you, to be of service. That was a resolution of mine last year. Put yourself out there. You have something to say and help people. Well, that's my way. What's your way? What way are you helping people? I have to tell you, the greatest way to help yourself is to be of service to others. Love yourself enough to give whatever gift that you have. I don't care what your gift is. It could be a talent of cooking, or it could be a talent of counsel. It could be that you're just a great friend that cracks people up and brings joy to people's life, and you're that guy. That's a beautiful thing. You should share that with everybody, okay? So keep telling me, what are the things that you need, that you want as your resolutions, and are they real or a fantasy? It's a fantasy about, I'm going to make $1 million. You can do that, but it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to lose 100 pounds, 50 pounds. You can do that. It's not going to happen overnight. Realistically, say a goal that says, I am going to start choosing to eat healthy. I am going to start choosing to love and respect my body. So I'm not going to put crap in it. I am realistically going to set out to improve my financial situation. So I'm not going to overspend and overshop. It's not, I'm going to go find the fantasy job that fixes the situation I got myself in. It's, I'm going to stop putting myself further in that situation and little by little heal my financial debt or my financial ruin. Does that make sense to you? Because that's how you do it. You go back and take the first step to get you where you want to go. You don't start at the end. You don't go 0 to 100 unless you're in a Ferrari. Then you can. Thank you for telling me I'm awesome. Does this program take state Medicaid insurance? I don't believe that we don't take Medicare, Medi-Cal, any of the Medis. And if it's out of state, even harder. But there are programs within every state that do take their own state insurance, and you can Google those and find those online. Wow, I needed this reminder. Good. I'm so glad. Manjo, can we speak? Manjo keeps asking me to speak. Manjo, I'm speaking now, so if you mean later, you need to call the numbers, the 800 numbers, and anyone on my team will be open to calling and speaking. I'm not taking clients. I do answer your messages on Messenger, though, okay? So it's very different if I take a call and pick up a call and we start talking. That changes the relationship. It becomes a professional paid relationship, and that I'm not invested in doing that right now. I'm doing this for free as a public service. I'm not trying to gather clients for myself. I am trying to invite clients to get into therapy. You can come to my center. You can come to my counseling center. You can have an assessment. You can do all that. I'm just saying right now, I'm not trying to engage in therapy with anybody. I'm respecting those professional boundaries that I have. And hopefully I'm inspiring and giving you help wherever you can. What part of New York? I'm from the Bronx, Georgia. You probably asked that 20 minutes ago and I'm just catching up. You can tell you're Cuban. You talk with your hands. Hi, Jackie Alvarez, girl. Cubans aren't the only ones that talk with their hands. The Italians are pretty good at it too, but hey. Brooklyn, New York, Veronica, I'm in Deer Park, Long Island. Happy New Year. Thank you, Elisa. You need to be independently focusing on your motives and intentions before getting into a relationship. Amen to that, sister. And codependency and early recovery right in the face again. Amen. Amen to all of that. First time here. Hi, Diana. Thank you for checking in. Pollyann, thank you. You're so sweet to tell me that I'm beautiful. Thank you. Love, you have great hair. Christy, you're so inspiring. Praise God, girl. That's awesome. You're touching my heart. And I randomly just came across out of nowhere. Okay, so Kelly Kettle is my social media guy. The one page I always remember of his is called Wings of Encouragement. You all check that out because that's amazing, and it's got like, I don't know, gajillion followers. Kelly, tell these people how they can, I know our number's at the bottom, so that's how you can call us, but how can they get the posts and the reminders that we're going live? I keep getting that question. Deborah, awesome. Gina, you're so awesome. Oh my God, you guys are so amazing. I've been to so many. Simon, yes, thanks. You're just being yourself in the universe and it should be the goal. I have gone through the same today. I spend time helping others. You are nothing if you don't serve. Libby, hello, and thank you. Okay, so New Year's resolutions, realistically, right? Tell myself, what can I do to be healthy? What can I do to care for myself, to give myself self-care and love? If I'm working too hard, too long of hours, my life is out of balance. If I don't have friendships and people that I socialize with and I'm only working, my life is out of balance. If I'm not working at all and all I'm doing is socializing and hanging out and maybe living off of somebody else's income, my life is out of balance. Hi, Mariannette. New here. Good. Welcome. I'm glad to see you. So when your life is out of balance like that, you got to focus. To meet those New Year's goals, you got to focus and say, how can I create balance in my life? What do I need to do to let go of the old stuff that isn't serving me? How do I get out of this abusive relationship? That's a big one. How do I stop using drugs and alcohol? How do I get healthier in my body? How do I overcome this depression? Nobody does this alone. So realistically, you say, I am willing to ask for help. I don't have the answers. I've been trying to battle all of this by myself. I've been struggling with my life being out of balance. There's all this work. There's no social. There's no exercise. There's no way that I'm taking care of my body. My life is out of balance. Someone this morning was saying how her house is a mess and she works all the time and she takes care of an elderly parent and she needs a knee replacement. Oh my God, her life feels completely out of balance. One step at a time. Start with you. Take care of you and the knee first and the healing first. And then tackle the mom. And then get help from friends to help with the house. And you know what? If your house is a mess, it's not the worst thing that's going to happen in your lifetime. If you died today and your house was a mess, nobody would care. They would care that you were gone. So take care of you first. That's the most important thing. Set that realistic goal for yourself. Not a fantasy of, I'm going to get it all right. I'm going to have it all perfect. Everything's going to look good. Everything's going to be in its place. I'm going to show up every day. I'm always going to do the right thing. Hey, these are fantasies. None of us is perfect. Don't do that to yourself. Don't trap yourself in an illusion of perfection that is preached to us on TV, social media, news, everywhere. In freaking Hollywood, right? We see constant images of perfection, okay? We are human beings. We're defective, we fail, we're fragile, we mess up, we have struggle. And truth is, if we have the courage to walk through those struggles, then we become these amazing people that we're meant to be, and we can do anything that we want to do, that is within our ability to do. We're not going to be like someone else that we see on TV or social media. You're not going to be me, and I'm not going to be you. But we can be present and help each other out and support each other and love each other for being uniquely different human beings. That's the goal. That's the idea for healing and letting go of the past and letting go of bad relationships, is loving self. Start with yourself. How do you stop binge drinking? Don't drink a lot, but when I do, it's, oh my gosh. Is that a form of addiction? Christy, yes. Binge drinking, like binge eating, is a form of addiction. I'm going to talk to that. And Gina, oh my God, I've been in so many different places and lives. I lost my son, 6.5 from cancer, and I was in a coma for, oh my God, and just lost my best friend, my mom, and I promised her I would be better. And listening to you, I know I am. I need to listen every day. Oh, Gina. Honey, every time something new like that happens to me, and every time there's a cancer or a loss, I lost my dad. A week after I was diagnosed with cancer and found out I had cancer. I buried my dad. I was in surgery 3 weeks later. I buried my dad and nobody even knew. Well, the closest people to me within my family, not my mother, knew that I had cancer because I didn't want anyone else to focus on that while we were grieving and honoring the loss of my beautiful father. So believe me, I know tragedy and heartache, and what I know is that we are resilient and that we have within us the ability to go through anything that this life puts out for us. It has to start with believing. Create for yourself in the new year. Get a poster board or a pin board or pin things on Pinterest or whatever on your phone. I'm still not real techie and don't know all this stuff and all these applications that are out there. Create a vision board for yourself, the desire and wishes of your heart, and everything that if you let yourself be free, unencumbered of bad relationships, of drugs and alcohol and everything, what would you envision for yourself and what would you want for yourself? And put that somewhere that you look at it every single day and you start to say, I'm going to believe that these things are possible for me. And then I'm going to take a step. If I want to be a public speaker, which was Gina's goal for last year, what do I need to do to get there? I've done it. Not just here with you guys. I put myself out in my community with other therapists, other addiction treatment centers, and I kept volunteering over and over again to public speak. I made it happen. By the end of the year, I was a keynote speaker at a conference in Los Angeles. I can't believe it. I've been wanting to do that for 20 years. But I had a vision for it and I took an action towards it. That's how it starts. Now there's some heavy stuff coming in. I'm going to go back and read to that, and we still have a little bit of time here. I've had cancer also. I really need to get healthy and lose weight. I have no willpower. I also feel bad and depressed. I had depression before I had the cancer, and somehow the cancer helped liberate me from the depression because I realized life ain't that bad. I mean, it's bad and I struggle and things happen and I don't always have everything that I want or sometimes even what I need. But what cancer taught me was I have a chance to live and I have to fight this, because if I fight this, I can create whatever life I want for myself. However I was living before, I don't have to be destined to living and continuing my life that way. Cancer is a wake-up call. Addiction, drugs, and alcohol is a wake-up call. Hey, guess what? You need to get yourself right, and you have the potential to live a divinely beautiful life, a life that you haven't even imagined yet because you've been struggling in your depression and you've been struggling with your addiction, diseases of codependency, shopping addiction, sex addiction, drugs and alcohol, right? So Libby, first of all, is to say to yourself, I deserve to live better than this. And second of all is to start, here's a New Year's resolution, fight the depression. The depression wants to own you just like addiction owns the addict. It is a dark cloud that comes. It is a dark cloud that's covering sun. The sun is always behind that cloud. The possibility, the hope, and the ability to live right and heal is behind that cloud. And the cloud is not a permanent condition. It might hang in there for a really long darn time, but it also will move if you believe in that. I had to get up every day for 10 years in my depression and say to myself, you've got to get up. You have the right to get up. You can do better than this. And coach myself into fighting the depression. That's addiction. That's codependency, and that's a bad marriage. I got to get up. I got to get out of here. I can't lay in bed next to this sick, crazy, abusive, unavailable, unattainable partner who's cheating on me anymore. These are ways that you tackle it. It's little steps, okay? In therapy, it's cognitive behavioral therapy. It's affirmations, teaching yourself and talking to yourself. You're the best coach that you have. If no one else did it for you before, you do it for yourself. If no one believed in you, that doesn't mean you're not worth believing in. That just means they weren't capable. And they didn't know how, or they were hurt or wounded from their childhood or their parents, and they passed it down to you because they didn't get well and they didn't get right. That doesn't mean you don't deserve to be well and to live right. Okay? You can go see a counselor for depression. And in some cases, with some clients, there is assisted medication that can help lift depression initially and get them balanced and move them forwards. For some people, it works great. For other people, it doesn't work. And you have to be willing to be kind of a guinea pig and test that out. But be willing, okay? Christy, I lost my mom last year to cancer, and I lost my Nana a month before she passed. I was with them both when they passed. One of the beautifulest, I'm talking too fast and too long, you guys. One of the best memories I have of my father is being with him when he passed. I really have some great memories of my father and not so great ones, but that one stands out in my mind because what a precious moment to watch somebody surrender who has lived well. Live a life well lived and choose your death. That when you come to the end of your life, you will surrender and feel liberated and free because we all will wind up there. It is inevitable. And that's why living right now is so important, you guys, because you don't know when you're going to go. None of us, that's what cancer told me is crap, Gina. I eat right. I'm vegan. I exercise. I always have. I've always taken care of myself physically. I take care of myself mentally through therapy and healing and meditation. And dude, I got cancer. And I had to face that and go, you know what? I'm powerless. This is what came. This is what was created divinely in me and came with my spirit or came with my body and my genetic makeup. But I had to decide to live right. And in that moment to surrender and say, I'm powerless over how this comes, so I better get it right now. And I feel like my father, it was a beautiful death. My father lived a life well lived, so therefore he could die. I'm not going to say there was pain. He had Alzheimer's for 5 years. He was in a hospital. He was like incapable and incontinent and all the ends. But he let go, and it was a beautiful thing to witness. And so hold the people that you love very dear to you and honor them and remember them in the new year. The people that you lose and you're sad when you think about it. I only lost him a year ago. And now it's crazy when I talk about him, I can just feel joy. And remember the good and remember what they gave me and the lessons that they taught me. And I joke about my dad and I do his funny accent to keep him right here with me, right by my side, walking through life, continuing with me. That's how I went off on that, Christy, but that's how I do it. You're freaking strong. Thank you, Gina. I sure try to be. Sometimes we don't know how strong we are until being strong, there's no other choice. And my life keeps repeating to me, being strong, there's no other choice. I had a first marriage that was miserable, horrible, with a horrible, emotionally abusive situation. I had to get strong. I was in my 20s. I had to learn what strong was. I was alienated from my family. They were East Coast, I was West Coast, or vice versa. I was alone. I had to get strong. I had to pull myself out of that. And God keeps showing me things, or the universe or Buddha or whatever you believe in keeps showing me things that I have to learn from. Just happened upon this discussion, and boy, what an angel thing. I needed to hear so much of what you're saying. Thank you, Deborah. I love it when you guys affirm that you're hearing what you need to hear. I'm very intuitive. I pick a topic. I rarely stick on it because I'm ADHD most likely. And second, because I get into the passion of describing things to you guys, and I trust that I'm being guided and sharing with you what's most important. If you find value in it, then that's a beautiful thing, and that warms my heart. So thank you, and bless you too, Veronica and Jose. Did you go through a detox center, or did you do it alone? I suffer from depression. I suffer from cancer. I'm a cancer survivor, and I am not an addict or an alcoholic. I am a codependent. I went to meetings, I went to CODA, and I went to therapy for many years, and I repeat and go to therapy often so that I can keep my head straight. I attend workshops, I read, I go to yoga, I exercise every day. That's church for me. I seek spiritual guidance from other people and their experience, strength, and hope. I ask for help all the time. That was the greatest lesson I ever learned in my life, in my recovery. Hi, Debbie. Fred is saying hi to you, and I'm saying hi to Fred and Debbie and Darla. Christy, yes, depressed with binge drinking and heart. So I'm seeing that there's a lot more comments at the end here, and we're almost done with time. I want you to know that, again, I'm Gina Tabrizy. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. You're on Harmony Heals Detox website. Our number is pinned at the bottom. Please call, messenger there. I look at those and my staff looks at those. We're all very well trained in trauma, addiction, and codependency. And I also have my page, Ask Gina, where you can send messages there. And I'm pretty good about getting back to people and answering. I think I do a decent job of that within, a couple of days, if not within a day. And I love when you tell me topics that you want to talk about. So this is one that I got from everybody, was about the New Year's, okay? So send more ideas and topics of things that you want to hear, that you want to connect on, and I'm really grateful that you guys are connecting with this. And I'm so glad that you feel blessed too, Christy, to have been with your mom. And let me read one more here. Marcia, how does this happen? I lost my parents last month, 21st and 23rd, was with them both in passing, so depressed, sad, and broken. Your words are good to hear. Marcia, God bless your heart, honey. Your parents, I want you to imagine them and think of them. The last place they would want to see you is sad, sullen, and lost. You feel lost. I don't care how old you are. I'm 54 years old. When you first lose that parent, there's a part of you that just feels completely lost, because it's like instantaneously, I am finally this adult, independent adult without any guidance, right? If you come from an abusive home and you didn't have those relationships with your parents, then you felt that loss years and years and years ago, and it is a painful one. But truth be told, if you had parents that you loved and you were there with them when they passed, then you gave them the greatest gift that you ever could have given them. You gave them the gift of love and support. And I'm hoping and believing that that's what they gave you, and that's why you miss them so much. You have to honor the spirit of them by getting up and saying, what would my dad do? And what would my mom do? I get up every morning, and my lovely mother now, who for the first time in her life is alone, has been with my father and known him since they were children, like elementary school children, and is the only man that she ever dated or was with her entire life for more than 50 years, okay? She tells me, she gets up every morning and she says, what would dad want me to do? When she's in her bed and crying and sad, she's like, there's no way he would want me here. And that's what I tell myself, and that's what I'm telling you, Marcia. There's no way your parents would want you there. It's only been a couple months. You have every right to cry, so cry those tears and look at pictures of them. I have pictures of dad in the house now to remind me how much I love him, that he loved me, that there was a person walking in the planet that made me feel okay, and that I was enough. And that's an important message to keep repeating to myself. So one of my resolutions was to not be afraid to keep looking at his picture and have it throughout my house, to speak of him often. That's a resolution. You can cry. I still will cry periodically when I really realize he's not here and he's not coming back. But truth be told is he's in here. He is always in here. If I remember him, talk about him, and honor him, he will always be with me, okay? I love that a lot of you are telling me about losing your parents and loved ones and friends. That's a subject that often comes up in here, and I'm glad that you're relating and that it's helping you, okay? Being sober makes hard times more easy to deal with. No, life is very easy. Well, that's beautifully said, Sarah. So I thank you all so much for being here with me tonight, and those of you who chimed in this morning and tonight. Thank you, Deborah. If I missed you, I swear it's never intentional. It's me trying to read and think and talk and scroll all at the same time. Becky, anxiety, dealing with anxiety, that's a great subject. Lovely has a big message here. 13-year-old sister who lost her dad at the age of 8. She's getting very angry and blaming my mom. He was an alcoholic but died from coronary heart disease. My mom left him. Okay, that's a lot, and I'm going to answer you afterwards. Her dad's birthday was Christmas Eve, and it's hard for her. What can I say to help? Wow, that's a lot. I'm going to think more on that, and I'll text you. But bottom line is this. You show up in love and say, I love you. I know this is hard for you, but I know you deserve better than this. And hurting yourself and being angry and hurting mom isn't going to change what happened. No one can do anything to bring dad back. But you can live a life that honors and respects dad, and you can get it right, and you can do better. Don't live the life that he lived if he was an alcoholic, suffering and in pain, hurting himself and hurting the people around him. You are not him. That's what you say to your 13-year-old sister. You don't live like him. You don't become him. You deserve better than that. And truth be told, he left because he was hurt, because he was sad, because he had a disease, which is called alcoholism, and it took his life. So you and I, my sister, we have to work on, okay? We have to work on facing life on life's term and doing things to help ourselves in a healthy way and not be destructive and not repeat the legacy of the father. And that's what you could say to her. I came up with it. And there you go. Tiffany, I'm dealing with an off addiction. I also have depression, anxiety. I love you. Your words help me. Thank you, Tiffany. And you guys, I'll go down and scroll because I really got behind on all this. I am on Facebook, you all. Shout out. Ask Gina's my Facebook page, my personal page, whatever. Look me up. I don't know how it all works, but I'm glad you're tuning in. Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab. We're pinned at the bottom. Please send messages and comments, and mostly tell me, what do you want to talk about? Facebook Live every Thursday right here. I'm also going to jump off on Ask Gina and start doing lives there. I hope Kelly has responded to some of you who are asking, how can you get those notifications? I imagine if you like our page at Harmony Heals Detox and Rehab, or my page, Ask Gina, then those notifications automatically come on your Facebook, and we invite people. I'm getting a lovely call from an insurance company as we are here. So I think that's my cue to say goodnight to you all. I wish you health and blessings and happiness in the new year. I hope if you listen to the whole live, the one thing you took away from it is your first New Year's resolution is self-care. To love myself, keep myself healthy and well, and then I can focus on other people and places and things in my life. But it's got to start with me. So love you guys. I'm sending you all the love of my heart that I can, and strength and courage to face all of the things that you shared with me. I truly feel honored and respect that you opened up with me like this. I hope you'll keep watching and following, and that this can become something that helps as many people as I can while I'm still living and breathing too. So God bless you, and I'll see you all next week. Have a good night.